welcome back. It's New Mutator, joined by Switch, as we bring
Hey
you.
everybody.
How's it going? So we're gonna bring you the second game of the match between Syndicate and the Myth Pagans in the Myth, or not Myth World Cup, but the Winter Series, which is the off-season major tournament in the Myth world. So see how this goes. It was a tie actually in the first game. This is an Allies game, which should be interesting. Uh, yeah, let's throw up these teams real quick. We got in the Northwest, Killer King with Toxin, BOC, and Falcon going to be playing for the Myth Pagans, and they're also going to be joined by, well, not joined, but their allied team is going to be Lord Scary Owl in the Northeast with Mike Khan, Samuel, and Scary Monster. And Switch was telling me that Mike Khan was actually on Supreme back in the day, so that's his claim to fame. In the Southwest, we have looks like Akira with Wank, Evil Jake, and Adrenaline coming in for the Syndicate. So that's going to be a huge pickup for the Syndicate. Their allied team is going to be led by Paris with RAR, Demolition, and Argos. So pretty scary, I think. Syndicate is looking. I don't know. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm thinking that I was telling you before. I'm thinking that the map selection is kind of a winter themed Bungie map. Is it looks like it's going to be, but Ally is kind of interesting. We don't see this very often.
Yeah, Allies a big fan of the Allies game type. Changes it up, makes puts a lot of pressure on the captain to really perform at a small scale level, kind of smaller unit tactics. I'll notice, I mean, really the
This is very odd. There
yeah,
are no forest giants being taken by Syndicate.
you've got the manly strat happening here with the Syndicate players.
They must be very self-assured if that's the route that they've decided to take. No forest giants typically are, they're pretty OP. I don't know if they're quite as strong as Tro are, but they're the fastest unit. They can go on um, impassable terrain. They you know granted they take up 24 unit trading points, but man, typically what happens is people max those type of units out. Tro, forest giants, any kind of giant unit gets maxed out first. But
Game
looks
on.
like Syndicate's going to
Flag
turn
captured.
expectations on their head and use those unit
Flag
trading points
captured.
in other ways,
Flag
possibly
captured.
on malls.
And it looks like they picked up a lot of Solus, going
Int-
with a heavy artillery strategy.
yeah, very
Flag
interesting.
captured.
They are going for
Flag
heavy
captured.
fetch,
Flag captured.
as they probably should, and it looks like not quite as
Flag
heavy for the
captured.
Myth Pagans. Or
Flag
well, they have
captured.
three on Lord Scary Owl, but only two. It looks like for Killer King.
Flag
Yeah, you got
captured.
no Falcon's taken three fetch, but it looks like two more doors. I mean, here I'm expecting these teams are going to sort of
Oh
they're
yeah,
going to
you're
be
right.
looking for the other forest giants now, and probably realizing something fishy is up.
Yeah, it's very curious.
Flag
Yeah, I guess
captured.
they sunk those training points. Oh wait, no, I am
Flag
mistaken. There is
captured.
a forest giant here. So how come I didn't see it earlier? Yes, wait, no, Samuel's on Lord Scariel's team.
Yeah, he's putting the hate down on Solus here, putting the pressure on.
Right, so Samuel and Killer King both bringing out their forest giants, trying to close it out here for on adrenaline. That's probably not that's I mean that's probably a smart thing to do is try to shut down
Flag
adrenaline
captured.
as soon as possible to give your team the advantage.
Notice here, Paris already has six flags tagged, so he's obviously been studying the game type here.
Yeah, he's got Berserks in the backfield, just kind of doing the running game. and he's actually forcing Lord Scarial to bring some
Flag
flags
captured.
or bring some units back
Flag
onto defense.
You got so much pressure happening in the Midwest here.
Actually, it looks like Wank not feeling. He's not feeling very. Like he's pretty confident. He just grabbed that high ground, even though there's both forest giants just hanging out. Oh wow, he needs to be ultra careful though.
Yeah, Killer King stepping out,
Oh
taking some
man,
hits. But
Mike Khan with a huge shot on Argos.
you got Toxin putting in the work with the mortars.
Yeah, they managed to slip through a berserk, but he wasn't able to take out any fetch. But yeah,
Killer King zapping, blasting.
There you
these
go.
fetch.
Yeah, Killer King taking one out there, but there's still 3 remaining.
Flag
As Paris is here to back up Wank. Although I have to say,
Killer King's 100% right now. Hasn't lost anything.
yeah, I have to say, the manly strat doesn't seem to be working out very well. If we look at Killer King and Killer King and Lord Scarial's, their squads both have the highest remaining percentages.
Yeah, I'm more worried about Samuel
flags.
coming in the back here and just smacking these berserks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Samuel, that was a well-timed.
They're really putting the heat on Argus.
It just goes to show like how valuable these forest giants are. Actually, Falcon taking some damage here. Wank is trying to turn the tables.
Beautiful mortar shot by Toxin here.
That sort of helps things out a little bit, but at the same time, 81% remaining for Killer King's squad. Actually, a little bit less now, 71% as another fetch goes down. And actually,
Oh, yeah, it's the
67%.
meat grinder. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Wank is starting to, he's starting to, I don't know, feel, get into his comfort zone, I feel. Although Samuel is still
Flag captured.
lurking around.
He's pushed Toxin right off, and Killer King, they're retreating. I mean, this is brilliant play here.
Flag captured.
Yeah, there's no more fetch, I think, from Killer King. I think they lost all their fetch. And
5 minutes
Lord
remaining.
Scariel, I don't think he has any
Flag
fetch. Yeah,
captured.
they're only at 28%. There is some stuff happening around the game, but nobody's managed to tag this
Flag
northwest flag, interestingly enough. So it looks like the strategy of the Syndicate was to clump up both their allied teams onto one flag and just defend that flag while they ran around with some berserks or whoever in the backfield, as we see Demolition running around, a couple of berserks.
Yeah,
in the
Demolition putting in the work with the running game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but at this point, they're in a pretty good. I was a little bit quick, I think, to write them off, but because they had the fetch advantage with this 6 fetch kind of stacked up,
Flag contested.
I think that might have helped a little bit, because at this point there's no fetch remaining for the Myth Pagans and 2 fetch remaining for, even though there's a discrepancy in percentages. Those 2 fetch are going to be really invaluable. It's keeping them in this game, I think.
He's putting its wank, and he's putting the hate on Falcon here. Him and Adrenaline just cornering his last units,
captured.
zapping them.
Oh yeah.
Flag captured. Flag captured.
Yeah, there's Falcon. He's a goner. There's nowhere for him to go. Well,
Yeah,
he
at this
might
point,
escape with a berserk, I think, 1 or 2.
He's still got Killer King's team still holding a lot of percentages,
Flag
but
captured.
they're just honestly how they can compete with this flag game here.
Yeah, it's there's 3 minutes remaining, and the only way that they can really get competitive is to basically
Flag
divide all their units up and run around. And
Flag
you know,
captured.
I think they have the advantage if they stay together, but if they're going to be playing that way, it's going to be a little bit harder for them
Flag captured.
to
And
and
there's a look noticing some coordination issues here. I mean, you got
Flag
like
captured.
Killer King walking into
Flag
Scary Owl. They're
captured.
running for the same flags. They're passing each
Flag
other with their forward
captured.
giants here.
yeah, that's true.
Flag.
Of course,
captured.
that's why Allies is such a great game type.
Flag
You get to see things
captured.
like that. Like it's difficult to
Flag
communicate when you don't have
contested.
the single team.
Right. Yeah, you don't really share
Flag
fog of war, I don't
captured.
think. Or you do. I'm not sure
Flag
if you. Yeah, I
captured.
think you do in allies.
Flag.
And as
But
Bach just dropped out there, was he playing or was he just observing?
Flag captured.
that's a good question. I assumed he was playing, but I'm not really sure. We'll find out at the end of the game. Yeah, I mean, even with the percentage, the percentages the way they are,
Flag captured.
the Syndicate is still up in flags. There's 2 minutes remaining. It is going to be progressively
Flag
harder for
captured.
them with these forest giants kind of
Flag
trundling around,
captured.
taking out.
Flag.
Yeah, and you got Wank is just going to finish up Toxin here.
Flag captured.
So we'll see. He might get chased down. You never know.
Yeah, I don't think he can finish up Toxin. It's going to be hard to kill these mauls. You know, I guess he's doing all right. Toxin's going to be okay as long as he doesn't. He might be able to coordinate with
Flag
Samuel and take them out.
captured.
I think Samuel might be able to
Flag
take out these
captured.
fetch.
Flag
Nope, never mind.
captured.
Took a little bit too much damage, and didn't really close the distance.
Militia chasing away his Toxin's last Zerk there.
I will say though that Lord Scary Owl and the Myth Pagans have
Flag
taken the lead.
captured.
He only has
1 minute
2
remaining.
flags, but Killer King's team has taken
Flag
7
captured.
at this
Yeah,
point.
this is gonna come down to the last seconds for sure.
They're doing the southern strategy. And there's a lot of activity going on around the map. But yeah, with the forest giants, the last couple
Flag
minutes are going to be
captured.
really hard for the Syndicate
Flag
to make something
captured.
happen, since
30
they don't really
seconds
have much
remaining.
that can stand up to those forest giants, even with such low health. They would have to group up their few remaining
Flag
units
captured.
to contest it.
Flag
Yeah, with 10 seconds
captured.
left. It's not looking good. Looks like Killer King managed to pull it off.
Yeah, Killer King's team, I think they were the key. But you know, they have it's
Flag
50, it's
captured.
effectively
Sudden death.
I don't know, 73% to 15%, you know? If we look at it that
You know,
way.
but when you're looking at what those percentages for sure, but you know, the running game is everything that late, so a couple percent can do it. Yeah, incredible.
True. But yeah, the Syndicate in the end, I think they didn't have enough. I think they lost too much in that kind of protracted battle in the west with the 2 forest giants. You know, they were able to they didn't come out on top, but they were able to kind of run out the Myth Pagans from that position. And you know, while that was as long as they were able to contain the the Myth Pagans there, they were doing really well. But at that point, the Myth Pagans had enough numbers, the numbers advantage, where they were able to fan out across the map and snap up the remaining flags.
Absolutely. I thought, I mean, the no force giant strategy, very, very risky, especially in a
Exceptionally
territory game
risky.
like this.
Right.
I mean, if this had been like Last Man on the Hill or something, I could have seen it coming out completely differently.
Yeah, in a territories game, it's, you know, I can see how they're thinking. Oh yeah, we just had to focus those forest giants and we have the advantage. But it very rarely ever works out that way. Those forest giants are typically the last remaining units.
Yeah, you always want them. Yeah, you just, you know, play safe, get the forest giants.
Evil Jake actually -4 damage.
Yeah, I had no idea what happened to him.
I'm not sure how you. Maybe he had fetch and he just blew himself up. I'm not sure. But yeah, let's look at the numbers. I mean, Samuel, huge game for him. 17 kills, 42 damage, and he was on LSO squad. He had the forest giant.
Yeah,
Or
yellow
one of them.
leaves. with 2, 4, 6, I don't know, 15, 18 kills.
17, I think. Uh, and Killer King had the other Forest Giant, but significantly lower numbers there from him. Um,
And
and
Wank doing amazing
yep.
work with those fetch.
Oh yeah, Wank actually kept, I think, the Syndicate in the game longer than it looked like they would have otherwise. 56 damage on with his fetch, 9 kills. But the rest of, you know, Syndicate, barring, yeah, I guess Rar didn't even play that one. Interesting. Paris actually has 44 damage, so he didn't do too bad. He actually did fairly good. He had more damage than Samuel with the units he had. But
Yeah, yeah, not bad, not bad.
other than that, I mean, I think too many casualties on the side of Syndicate, and not enough to show for it in the late game. Uh, just really allowed the Myth Pagans to run away with the game here, as they had 10 flags to 3 when all is said and done.
Yeah, you stack those numbers up. I mean, you got one tie game, one defeat for the your old your old syndicate here. It's they're looking shaky. They're shaking in their boots.
Yeah, I don't think that I think it's early on in the match. You know, it's not such a big deal for them to be down a game. You know, there's 3 more games at least to go. You know, a possible fourth if they're not able to win all 3. So you know, I don't think they're really too. I think they're pretty confident still. You know, they use a risky strategy. I think they recognize that. I think they overestimated their abilities here, and they were punished for it. And you know, I think they realize that they can't really get away with that, so they're gonna have to step it up a little bit. So
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do in the next game, whether they come out more defensive after something like this. But you never, these guys could be a rush. Who knows?
yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the third game, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Yeah, I forgot those guys are all on VoIP.